Hi, fellow traders. In this video, I want to recap my trade from Friday on SRPT. I waited till today because I wanted to use the Thinkorswim on demand feature because it wasn't until I was able to go back and play this trade and watch it what I was able to figure out what I did wrong. Up until the time I reviewed it, I didn't think I really did anything wrong. I thought it was the perfect setup. But another reason why it's important is because the last couple of weeks, my trading has looked like this picture. This picture depicts my trades because I can't seem to put things where they belong. Even though I know where they go, um, it just seems like, either I'm not in sync with the market's not in sync with me, I'm getting there too late to catch my trade, or I'm early and my timing isn't right. It's just a lot of things that came together. I'm actually doing a blog on it now, so that'll probably explain it a little bit better. But this picture can give you an idea of how a lot of my trades look right now. So I was trading this Friday, and when you're under a lot of pressure that you put on yourself, you've had a rough patch. You want to trade out of it. You're looking for that next good big trade. And a lot of times you don't see the whole picture because you're trying to force yourself to take this trade. And that's not the way I trade. And it's pretty evident, what I've been dealing with, and, trying to I'm trying to force my timing instead of slowing down and just getting my rhythm back. But I'm going to go ahead and play this. And this is from Friday. And you can see that this is starting to set up. And what I like for it to do, and I think I mentioned it in chat, that I like for this candle, I was looking for this candle to close above VWAP and, give me a nice push back up. I was looking to take a half to a quarter off here, looking to take some off here, and then my final target was up here. And that was a trade I was looking for. So as you can see, it's starting to set up, and I think I alerted it in chat, and I like the way the 9 is pushing up, and I'm expecting this to actually cross the VWAP and continue to drive this ticker up. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to, this is the chart that I actually trade on. I usually have my hourly chart over here, but I have this right here, for now. But usually I have my hourly chart there, and I'm trying to align everything on multiple time frames, to give me the best chance of having a successful trade. So you can see right now I'm watching it. It's kind of bouncing around a little bit. And I even thought about taking it here, and if it dipped too far below the 9, I was going to go ahead and take it off. So I came close to getting in, right here, trying to anticipate the move. But again, when you start anticipating a lot of times and you're not comfortable doing it, or it's not part of your setup or your strategy, it tends to get you in a little bit of trouble. So I just exercised a little bit of patience here, and I was looking at level 2, and I saw the spread on it, and I was thinking, once we get a little bit more volume, this thing gets above the VWAP, the spread should come closer together. Because from what I've learned and what I've seen, the spread is a product of lack of volume. Lack of relative volume. Now, I to make that clear. It has to be relative volume. And as long as this thing is trading below its relative volume, you're going to have large, wide spreads like you're seeing here if you're watching level 2. So I was watching that, and I was looking for the volume to come in to bring these spreads a little bit closer together. So as it was moving up, it started looking pretty good. So I'm watching it, and really, ideally what I like to see is the candles get squeezed between the 9 and the VWAP as it's gearing up. But, this stock was pretty volatile. It was moving around a lot. So it's getting close. Once this candle closes over the VWAP, what I'm going to do is go ahead and switch over to the 2-minute. So I'm going to start looking for my entry. And so again, I'm looking at level 2, and the spreads are still 15 to 20 cents apart at times. So I'm not going to take a trade until I start seeing it come closer. Now see right here, we got a 4-cent spread, and that was the last thing I saw when I was looking at the level 2. Once I saw that get closer together, I started looking up here for an entry, and I didn't glance back down at the level 2 at all, and that's a mistake. All because I was trying to force this trade and make this thing work. I didn't come back down and look and see that I still get wicked spreads. 5 cents is fine. I don't have a problem with 5 cents. But you got 6 cent spread here, and the 32.85 came up, and this is still at 32.95. It's not a good trade. So you can keep your eye. I'm gonna keep going back down here, but during the trade I wasn't looking at it anymore. As far as I'm concerned, the spreads were coming together. Got to close above the VWAP. So now I'm looking at this candle right here to let me know it's time to get in. So 33 is what I'm looking for to get in. I'm looking for $33. That was my target, price that I knew that it would be safe for me to get in. At 33, I could manage my stop, and everything would be good. So I'm going to try to time it the way I timed it that day. So when it came back down to 33, there we go. So I just bought 500 shares. Average price, $32.97. That's even better. Well, I tried to time it at 33, and I got in at 33 Friday. So let's watch what it does here. So my plan now, it was starting to look good. My plan was take off a quarter here, and then probably take off a quarter here, or if I got here, take off another half and then leave a quarter on and see if it would get up to here. But I was feeling pretty good, even though this is bouncing back and forth, I felt pretty good about it. So let me see if I can speed it up a little bit here. This is going to speed it up a little bit. I don't want it to get too fast where you kind of lose the feel for it. But this is what I was looking at. Happy. Look at my P&L. Ask me why I didn't take some profit, once I got about 30-40 cents. Look at, here is my first target, 33.65. At 33.30, I should have taken a quarter off. I should have booked some profits, but I didn't. And that kind of came back to haunt me. So I should have had an order in right up here, at 33.30, 33.35 to try to grab some profits, because that's halfway to this first profit target. There's no reason why I shouldn't have done that, especially the way it popped up like that. But you can see this trade went south on me very quickly. And this is exactly what happened to me. It went up, and of course my stop is going to be a close below the 9. I expected to do things like this because market makers, they know people when they set hard stops, it's going to be right below the VWAP or right below the 9. So I'm thinking, they may be taking out stop losses. So I don't feel too bad right now in this trade. But I am concerned that it's come back and it's staying down here as long as it has. Normally it'll come down here for a couple seconds, take out some stop orders, and then run back up. But it hadn't done this time. Now you see already over here, this was a clear signal for me to get out that I did not take. This candle, this 2-minute candle here made a new low relative to that candle. So now I'm really getting sick. My finger is on the trigger. If it closed, if I got that closed below it, and this is exactly what I did Friday. Exactly what I'm looking at Friday. And I'm like, man, there we go. We got the close below it. I had to sell. I had to get out. But the thing is, and what, even though I could have held it, and as you can see, it came back and it made the move back up. You're going to see this in a minute. I stuck to my rule. I stuck to the plan. And that's probably the only bright spot. Even though I lost money on the trade, this was a bright spot that I did stick to that rule, because it could have easily washed out and really blew me up for the day. But I didn't. I stuck to my stop loss. And yeah, this made me sick when this next candle popped up. But the reality of it is, I should never have been in this trade to start with. Because whenever you have a ticker trading like this, and even though it kind of suckered me in and it kind of, the candles tightened up, I should have paid more attention to the spread and the way it was jumping around. And that would have kept me out. And I wouldn't have lost, all the money that I lost. And really, I lost a lot. I lost probably $50 more than that. This is kind of delayed, so I can't get the exact entry and exit that I got Friday, but believe me, I lost a little bit more money than this. So I just wanted to share this with you, give you an idea of a mistake that I made. And for me, being the type trader that I am, trading something that's jumping around this way is not something that I like, and not something that I normally do. And this was 100% a product of me feeling that I needed to take a trade, that I had to take a trade, because I hadn't taken a trade in a day or so. The ones that I have taken didn't really work out, didn't move, didn't have any follow through. And so I didn't lose any money, but I didn't make any money. And you get frustrated and you start feeling incompetent, and you start trying to force trades and trade things that you don't normally trade. And when you're not patient, just because something looks like you're set up, there are other elements that you have to take into consideration. And that's why I have everything written down on note cards. And obviously in this case, I mean, I did run through it, but I just didn't go back and look at level 2 like I normally do, when I get ready to enter. When I enter, I need to look at level 2 because I need to know where the bid and the ask is. And that was just a mistake that I made. So hopefully you can get something from this. I know I have, by going back and looking at it. And the last thing you want is your trades to end up looking like this every day. I'm actually going to print this picture out and put it on my monitor so that I could see what I don't want things to look like. And again, anytime you want to ask me a question, you can email me, hit me up on Skype, Twitter, check out my blog. I'm finishing up a blog on my journey, through this slump now, so that should be up later on today. Or you can catch me, Ed at warriortrading.com. You can email me there. All right, hope everybody had a great day today. In free chat, we had a lot of new guys come in. Awesome day in chat. And, we look forward to building on that. And hope everybody has a great evening. And I'll see everybody tomorrow in chat.